For the past week I wasn't active on YouTube, but not because I was taking a break, quite the opposite. In the past 3 days I have been working from morning till past midnight, almost without any breaks. I have been working on new outro for all the future videos. And in this video I just want to share the idea, the problems, solving problems, and the final result. You know, in certain way it did feel like playing Path of Exile and figure crafting some build. You start with the idea, start planning, then come across with some problems, and try to come up with something to overcome your problems and make your idea into reality. So, the idea. I wanted to do something special for patrons and not just show their names. And after a few failed ideas, I came up with this Wolfpack building for patrons. There are different reward tiers, and each floor in the building represents higher patron tier. Patron names will be behind window and the camera will rise from bottom to the top, showing all the patrons. Additionally, I got the idea to include this screen and three, sort of TV screens. Big TV screen will show video card and two others will show subscribe button and support button. Adding new patrons will be pretty easy, because extending the floor or adding new floors requires very little work. Now about the animation itself. This is how the scene looks without any textures. I had to put few mountains to cover the background, and they will not be the focus of this animation, so they are quite low detailed. Actually, I will quickly turn on materials. So, the camera starts from here. This is the camera. At first it is focused on the ground, but it will move closer to the building and show the building itself. I did it for a few reasons. One, it makes it look a bit more dramatic. And second, I will mention later. This little X is the focus point. It means that things behind it or before it are a bit more blurred. The camera will move slowly to the street light. By the way, I'll switch to camera mode and you can see the ground has some texture. You can say it is cracked from heat, but you will hardly see it in the final render. As the camera approaches the building, it starts to focus on the building, and the blurriness will disappear. Well, everything behind the building will be blurred. Well, this sort of hides ugly mountains. Then the camera will align with the building, zoom back a bit to show those TV screens, and it will start rising to the top of the building. At certain point, the crane will start lifting those TV screens. They will flash a bit, and near the end of the video card and icons will appear. But this will be done on YouTube. Now if I show everything from camera mode, it will look like this. Approach the building, focus on Wolfpack, go a bit back, and rise to the top. And there you have it. There were so many problems during this animation. Mostly because I'm still new at using Blender. I picked it like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. So there are many things that I don't know and many things that I still need to learn. One of the problems I had was lighting. This is dark scene and there are many lights. And also glass. Glass and light causes a lot of noise. Imagine noise as dust on your screen. In order to remove this dust, you need to increase the quality of your rendering. And unlike video editing, 3D animation takes a lot of time to render. So I had to sacrifice the quality of the final render. And it took 45 seconds to render one frame. And there are 300 frames. So it took nearly 4 hours to render all this animation. And still the quality is not what I like it to be. And here comes another problem. If I were to add more patrons, I would have to wait 4 hours every time. That's not good. So I found a way to solve it. The animation was rendered as image sequence. One image for one frame. And then Blender has its own video editing software. And you just combine all the images into one animation. This means I can render only part of the animation and then just combine the images. Let's say I wanted to add another patron into Quantum Chaos Researcher floor. I would go into camera mode and find the last frame before it starts going into that floor. I would add the name on top and only render animation from that frame. And later I just combine images from previous render with the new one. Also each time I do this, I will also increase the quality of the render. So eventually it will become higher quality. Also newer patrons from Izaro's Advisor floor and Non-Meta Club 8 will not appear in the building right away, because it would make me render all the animation. Instead they will appear outside the building at the street lamp moving towards the entrance. That way I will have to render only about 70 frames. And later, once there are more patrons waiting, I will edit the building, the crane, the screens, and re-render all the animation. This should save me a lot of rendering time. Also, another cool thing about rendering image sequence is that if rendering crashes or runs out of memory, it would stop all the animation, but it would not corrupt all the animation, just the last frame, so that later I could continue rendering from the last rendered frame. All this makes it possible to give patrons more custom rewards. For example, Fancy Wolf get to pick some custom effects, like neon underwear name with custom color. I know this is rather simple, but with time there will be more custom options. I hope you understand that this takes a lot of time and I'm doing this only for higher tiers because it will require less rendering. By the way, if you got any simple ideas for reward tiers, let me know in the comments below. Oh, by the way, the last problem I faced with, well, YouTube itself. So I render animation, I put it into video editing software and do all the other video, export it and then upload to YouTube. And this is where I lose quality. For some reason YouTube makes all those animations darker. I know it has something to do with codecs, but I was unable to solve it. I have uploaded maybe 20 test videos to see if it changes anything, but it did not. And increasing the brightness in video editing software is not really, well, it makes it uglier. But for now I'll have to work with that. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching and I'll leave you with this final animation.